SPconvo. SPconvo. Let's do it. Good day, people. Today's Wednesday. It's going to be my thing called Random Wednesdays. Just talk about random topics, random things. Whatever, is in my head. I want to talk about it. Or whatever happened during the week or during the month. Like a recap. So, Carmelo Anthony got a new defense team. And my last video I put up, the original narrative of America, black and white. As you hear me read out, for the past 160 years, the complexities of black and white in America still exist. So, no matter what new immigrant group comes into the country, it's still going to be that foundation of black and white. Now I understand why America don't care for who come to the country and keep their culture and their traditions. Because your kids, no matter what you teach them in your house, they're American born, they're going to have the American ways. So America's smart. So I was thinking, I said, yeah, an Asian coming to America, their skin is more yellow, almost to white. Then the Southeast Asians come to America, the Indians, their skin is dark. I see why Trump rather have the clear-skinned Asians come to America more so than the Southeast Asians. Skin color thing. Privilege thing. That's when I started thinking. Yeah, it's about black and white. No matter what, it's about black and white. So if your ethnic group comes with different multifaceted skin tones, the ones that's close to white is going to be accepted in America more. And the ones that's darker is going to be rejected or give subtle, long pauses of, let me see what I can do. So once I started looking at it like that, I said, oh, okay. So it's always going to be a tick for tat when it comes to white and black America. It's always going to be a tick for tat. In America, still going to put some of the blacks over any other ethnic group, no matter what skin color, shade, tone, creed. So this brings me to, why is Carmelo Anthony getting so much attention now? Since all the footage has been nationwide released. All 50 states was able to see the track and field incident. They was able to see it. So, is that to bring the tension even more between white and black? Or to bring the similarities between white and black? White and black Americans. Let me specify that. White and black Americans. Because as I also stated in my last video, white and black Americans have similarities in their characters, in the way they congregate amongst other people. White people don't want a black person there. But if there's another group of person there, the white people would tend to the black person first. If we had a job, and I'm at the water cooler, the white person at the water cooler, she may roll her eyes, look at me up and down. An Asian guy speaking his own language happens to go there. A Spanish person speaking her language happen to go there. and they just randomly have their conversation. I may look at it as, I don't know what they're saying. She may say the same thing. We may both say, why are they talking in their language and this is the job? She's going to agree with me. She's going to agree with me. Just for the simple fact that me and her could relate on the differences in language. Now we bring it back to current Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf situation. They still did Carmelo Anthony wrong. Because that's the basis of the United States of America. That's the foundation. Race. The foundation is race. Color of the skin. It took me some time to really soak in what that means. Just for the color of the skin. No matter how nice you act, how educated you are, how well versed you are, how well traveled you are. That's a good for you, Negro. Good for you. But you're still not going to be accepted. You could dance up and down, put the best rap music out there, score the best movie out there. They don't want it. You heard the heckler during the Sinners award ceremony. When the movie Sinners came out, the heckler said what he said. They blamed it on T-Rex. They blamed it on T-Rex. So that had me say, nah, man, that man meant to be disrespectful and disruptive towards those people that put hard work in. Because remember, that movie was based on blacks and Asians having some type of community ties there, some connections there. And the white people was considered the devils, wanted to take the souls, wanted to take the energy from the black people. So the Asians was more included into that black culture, while the whites was on the outside. And during that film, the Asians was never looked at bad. But that race matters. When it comes to that hierarchy, whoever's in charge, people flock to whoever's in charge. So Carmelo got a new defense team. And a lot of people is not too happy with that. News anchor or commentator or analyst Megyn Kelly was one of those people that's upset that Carmelo Anthony got a new defense team. And I'm shocked. I'm extremely shocked because I watched Megyn Kelly. But after hearing what she said, I said, man, I'd have been duped. Imagine me dating her. Imagine us having a relationship. Hypothetically, let's say. And that's my lady. And she feel all these ways about black people, but she keeping it inside. And I have no clue. And then to hear her speak on that topic about Carmelo. And I'm like, what? How you dating me? How we dating? And you feel that young boy deserved to be... Wow. So I was shook. I was taken back to hear her say what she said about Carmelo Anthony. So she tried to throw it on somebody that's on the talk show, The View, trying to say that that person is a former lawyer, so she knows she's supposed to speak in the right terms and don't be in favor of Carmelo. But right is right and wrong is wrong. Because even I had to admit that Carmelo wasn't a fool. He wasn't a fool. You have so many people surrounding Carmelo at that tent. Eddie Paro was there. Austin was there. Hunter was there. And whoever else was there. They all surrounded Carmelo. It was a setup. It was a hit. And the only thing Carmelo had was the tool that removed grass out of his sneaker to defend himself. A tool that removes grass and grime from underneath his sneakers, his cleats, to defend himself. And unfortunately for Austin Metcalf, it worked for Carmelo Anthony. That's why I say he's the MVP. He was the most vulnerable person under that tent. Because nobody else knew that Carmelo had that in his backpack. But they sure knew they wanted to do harm to him. Because why would Eddie Paro tell him to come over to the tent? Because Eddie had a relationship with Carmelo. And that's the thing with black people. Black people are too friendly with everybody, too accepting of everybody. And everybody act like they're accepting of blacks, but only to set them up and do harm to them. Shame on Eddie Paro. Shame on him and his parents that raised him to be so deceptive. Shame. So Carmelo gonna get his new defense team, and they're gonna get in there. They're gonna try their best to get that sentence dropped. And I'm gonna say it: if Carmelo don't get 10 years in jail, he may get 5. I don't know if he's gonna walk out, but he may get 5. He may be home before he's 25 years of age. Because one thing about the law, that the law is the law for a reason. And the law is not 100% correct, and the law is not 100% right. The law is based off of people's emotions, people's bias, people's perception, people's ear, what they want to hear, people intentional want to be blinded by things, and it's just written in words. That's what the law is about. And it's about, if you got that moolah, that paper, that cheddar to make everything all better. If it's cold in the courtroom and you got that bread, you can stay warm as if you underneath $1,000 sweater. So Carmelo gonna get his. And I say it again. When I first heard it, I called him a fool. Because I was under the guise that he brought a weapon to a place where all the other students was innocent, just going there to do innocent things like run track. So I was thinking in the sense of, hey, one of my kids could have got harmed by Carmelo. No. That don't go. But as facts unravel, you get a better understanding of, hey man, they try to do that man in. As the new generation say, they backdoored Carmelo Anthony. They backdoored that man, that young man. So here we at. This is where we at right now. This is fair use. Educational purposes only. Carmelo Anthony, new defense team. Here we go.
Sentenced to 35 years behind bars for the murder of Austin Metcalf.
Yes, tonight a high-profile legal team announced they will be representing Anthony. NBC5's Ali Spilliards is live with the latest on this. Now, Ali, what does this mean for the next phase of this case?
Well, Brian and Brittany, this comes less than 2 weeks after Carmelo Anthony filed a pauper oath, basically a request to the court for an attorney saying he could no longer afford one. That came the same day that he filed a motion saying he intends to appeal his conviction. This team of 6 prominent Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin-based lawyers say they're coming together to represent Anthony pro bono. The team's headed by former Dallas County Prosecutor Russell Wilson. It also includes Michael Ware, the director of the Innocence Project of Texas, and president of the Texas NAACP, Gary Bledsoe. Despite numerous requests, the team told us they are holding off on interviews for now, but they did release a statement saying, in part, "We recognize the profound loss suffered by one young man's family and the uncertainty facing another. Our responsibility is to determine whether a legal error occurred and to ensure that every issue supported by the record is fully and vigorously presented on appeal." A couple of weeks.
Right there. Right there. Finding that error. That error in the judicial system. Carmelo's coming home. But I say in 5 years he'll be home. By the time he's 25. By the time he's 25. Wish him the best. You know, this country here, man. This country is the best country. I can't lie. America have its issues, but it allows everybody and anyone freedom to do what they want. Even a black man could do what he wants. There's limitations on how far he could go as a whole. Out of 10,000 black men, maybe 500 would get there. The rest of the 9,500 gotta get it how they live. But for the black man, America is the best country for the black man to be living in, born in. Because every other country, opportunity's not gonna be there. But this country have a tendency of riling people up, making people feel less than at times. Or as they say, rage bait. You have youth that don't have no intramurals to go to after school. No sports programs because they can't afford the sports programs. Back in the day, there was sports programs, sports centers, community centers open. The minute you get out of school, you go there to keep you out of trouble. So now you have the youth of today joining gangs, taking a lot of influx in drugs. You have a lot of youth out there trying to figure it out. Their parents have to work. So their parents not really there to get to know their children in the way traditionally a mother and father would know their child. Same thing for the kids. The kids don't know the parents because the parents is always at work. They don't know what stresses their parents is going through. They don't know what makes their mother or father cry, upset, whatever have you. So when you have the young kids of today go outside and they use their ingenuity and they use their parents' lunch money and they say, "Hey, my mom gave me 10. What your mom gave you? 5. What your mom gave you? 50. What your mom gave you? $2.50. What your mind give you? $1. They all use their head and put money together. And they go to a Walmart or a Target or whatever type of open air place to get produce. They get juices and water. And they go outside and they sell it. They go outside and sell it. And they make money. And they turn it over. And maybe they go buy themselves a hat. Or they go buy themselves a glove and a baseball bat and a ball or basketball or soccer ball or football. They go buy themselves something to make themselves entertained. They keep themselves from not being in trouble. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with today's youth using their ingenuity to make something of themselves? I don't see nothing wrong with that. But there's no difference than you letting the immigrants come here and they set up shop on the streets and sell their food from their house to survive. So you're telling me it's not okay for 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old youth to be out there making money, also known as panhandling, but that's the same exact thing these immigrants are doing by having their storefronts, having a shopping cart, having a thermos, selling food outside. Hey, I even seen people barbecuing on a shopping cart with wooden pallets and like a metal ironing board strapped down to a shopping cart as the base. And they cooking ribs, pork, chorizo, everything on it. Carne, anything. And people buy from them. They don't have no food vending license. They don't go to the Department of Health and get a needle on their hand and make their hands able to be, touching the food. So when the youth do it, it's a problem. But when you got 35, 40, 40, 50-year-old immigrant men and females entering the country doing that, it's okay. Because they got to feed their kids. Because they come from poverty countries. But that's okay. They don't get no injunctions, no violations. They get a overlook. Oh, look that way. An empathy. They get an empathy card. But because the youth are born in America, they ain't supposed to get no empathy. As if everything is A-OK in America. I just said America has its issues, but everything's not A-OK in this country. That got to get fixed. That has to be addressed. That is unfair. To see migrants do as they want, when they want. How do you think the kids gonna feel when they see that? That's what makes children become rebellious. Because you're taking the opportunity away from them. Especially when they see an adult doing it. Kids follow adults. So they become very confused to say, what's it to them and what's it not for me? So when you see mobs and mobs of teens jumping into grocery stores, tearing it up, congregating in large parks, being rebellious, they just going against the machine. Because they want to be heard. They want to be heard. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be heard. All they're doing is damaging property. And why not? Let them damage the property. America got the money to do it. Because you don't want them to do the right thing. So when they do the wrong thing, it's well deserved. It's well deserved. And don't say these adults is doing everything right. Because they don't pay for no buses. They don't pay for no mass transportation. They just go on in. Worse, they have their children out there panhandling. 5, 6, 7 years old outside panhandling. They have their children strapped to their back. But if this was another ethnic group, a black family, ACS is coming. Families become separated just like that. I'm lying? Where's the lie? Tell me I'm lying. I'll wait. The nerve to think our children are deaf, dumb, and blind. The nerve. You know, this country have to do better. And I believe in the future it will be a better country. Once you treat everybody the same, have everybody come to America and assimilate to the American ways, and stop with that same old policy of, okay, we got the kids, so the kids are American, let the parents have their way, could they be out of here soon? Nah. As soon as the parents get here, put them in school, let them learn the American language, the American culture, the assimilation of how it goes, the laws. Respect people that's here before them, get in the groove, and wait their turn. As the old saying went, either you defecate or get off the pot. Because everybody else, they anxious. And somebody got to go. And somebody really want that opportunity. And them young boys out there want their opportunity. And they not playing. They are not playing at all. So let's get into this right here. Just have some music in the background, so I'm not going to play it. I'm going to play it, but turn the volume off. And you're going to see right here. See? Child in the back. Mm-hmm. Let that would have been a black woman. Anybody dark skin. Somebody would have made a phone call and took that lady off the train, and her child would have got removed. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Look at that. But let that be some teenagers. Let that be some teenagers. It's all over. All over. And she charged him $2. Look at the officer. He didn't take her cart. The nerve. The nerve. Tell you, man. I tell you. Oh, technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Went back. Look. See? All that food. No license, no nothing. Look, officer right there, talking to her, but he ain't saying nothing. No action. But if there been some black kids, it'd been a problem. It'd been a problem. Still got her possessions. With the babies on their back. Can't make this up, man. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Nothing happens to them. At all. Not that you wish for anything to happen to anybody. But if you're in a country where there's a set of rules for everybody to follow, everybody deserves the same treatment. But America always give people outside the country the benefit of the doubt and an excuse to say, yeah, they don't know, they're not born here. As if they don't have people already here in the country making phone calls, letting them know how it is. Oh, yeah, I know. But you could tell somebody whatever you want to tell them. If they don't believe it, they don't believe it. Yeah. So, believe this. A 1-year-old baby got harmed in Mississippi. Shot down by police officers. Can you believe it? Actually, the baby was a certain skin color. Then maybe you could believe it. So, a black baby was harmed after this particular situation occurred. A woman and a man running out of the store of a Walmart with a bag of diapers. So the police happened to be in the area, or they was called to the area. The people went inside their car. The police chased after the car. Apparently, or allegedly, the lady in the car drove towards the police officers, giving them all right to shoot into the car. With a 1-year-old baby in the car, the cops unloaded. I never knew for America to be like this. Usually when it's kids around, babies around, they protect. You get a pass. I don't think so now. I don't think you get a pass now. I think America is waking up. The police department is waking up. People use kids as shield. And they're not taking the opportunity no more to allow no distractions or no advantage point coming from the opposite side. And for the most part, if I was a police officer, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind having a police department and a group of people, my community, my police force backing me up, knowing that I had to defend myself because I could have been underlined by somebody's vehicle. If that is truly the case. But this is why I say no matter what, the police department of Mississippi deserve to be held accountable. Police officers are damn near marksmen. They know how to aim, point, shoot, and have that bullet go exactly where they want that bullet to go. So he could have shot the engine, stopped the engine, blew up the engine. He could have shot the lady in the hand through the window. He could have shot the lady in the arm, let off some warning shots in general. Anything to stop the threat. But he unleashed into the car and killed a 1-year-old baby. Just obliterated that 1-year-old baby. I have yet to see him speak. The officer that caused the killing, I haven't yet to hear him speak. Maybe I'm late. Maybe there's footage of him apologizing. Maybe there's footage of the police department making a statement that they apologize for the officer doing that. Now, by all means, that's a misdemeanor, right? Stealing Pampers out of a supermarket. That's all means. I believe that's a misdemeanor, depending on what state you're in. But I don't think a pack of Pampers is worth the life of a human being. I can't possibly believe that. And I can't possibly believe that that officer did that without noticing that that baby is in our car and there's a chance that that baby could get killed. Maybe that officer was upset about the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf situation. Who knows? But what I know is this. Officers have the right to kill. And they take that with pride. And if they have a bad day, they want to take it out on any citizen. Because they have backing. You see, there's one thing that being any professional is one thing that becomes the greatest risk of when you put a weapon in anybody's hand. You don't know what they're thinking. You could do all type of testing and still don't tell you at the current moment what is that person thinking. You don't know what thoughts is in that person's head once he have that weapon in his hand or her hand. And this is what makes you having a weapon and I'm not having a weapon scary. Let's get into the 1-year-old getting killed. This is the update. It's fair use. Fair use.
Calling for an independent autopsy. Can you tell us why?
Yeah, Andrew, the family's attorneys say they're just concerned overall with the transparency of this investigation, say they are worried about how it is going to be carried out. And they also are saying that the mother of the young boy, she's disputing a police account of how he was killed.
Justice for baby Cohen? Justice for baby Cohen!
Calls for justice just days after 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was shot and killed by police responding to a shoplifting call in northwest Mississippi. This video showing the scene playing out in a Walmart parking lot in the small town of Senatobia.
They were called over a box of diapers. and a family now has to bury their baby. You cannot put those two things next to each other and call it reasonable policing.
An officer firing shots into a car he alleges was accelerating toward him, something Cohen's mother, a passenger in the vehicle, denies. Valencia Wiley also says she held Cohen up so officers would know there was a baby in the car just before the shots were fired.
I watched my baby take his first breath, and I watched my baby take his last breath.
The officer who fired the shots has been placed on administrative leave. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation promising transparency as they gather evidence, including security and police body cam video of the incident. The MBI promising to release that video, but only after the investigation is complete.
We don't have to wait 6 to 9 months. They can release the body cam footage of the officers. The officers have body cams on. We know if their lives were in danger because we can tell from the body cam footage.
Attorneys for Wiley.
See? Full of shit. You see all those officers running after the car. So if most of them is behind the car, where they shot the baby at? From behind the car? Now if they had one officer in front of the car, and that's the one that's saying that this is why I did it, is because they could have ran me over, but the rest of his colleagues can't vouch for that. He's in the front, they in the tail end, the back can't see it in the front. That's his reason to say, oh, I can make this up, I can spin this story around. But cameras don't lie. So if they get that right angle of that camera, it's all over for that officer. And the mom says she held the baby up to show the officer that the baby's in the car. So that officer didn't care. Shame on him. Now to the mom. Why would you hold your child up knowing that a police officer have a weapon of mass destruction by his side? Why would you hold your child up? A young lady like you don't know no better? You don't know no better? Was you tired of being a mom? Was it a hardship? I have to question that. I have to question these young mothers of today. A lot of them be using their head to get out of situations and look for somebody else to blame. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. People not looking at the underlying situations of people, places, and things of today. A lot of people want to be free. They don't want to be held back for nothing. They don't want to have no responsibility to do nothing. A lot of people have that mindset. I'm lying? No, I'm not lying. There's a lot of people that live with regret. After they say yeah, they wish they would have said no. Once they realize they ain't going to get a benefit, once they realize they're not going to get nothing out of it, they can't be a user and maximize on that mindset that they have to be a manipulator and a user. Once things don't go their way, they live in regret. This country got a long way to go. A long way to go. The other day, I was coming from downtown, and I seen a young lady talking about why she don't have the best things in life. A gentleman came up to her and said, baby girl, it's going to be okay. I seen an African man say he came to America. He'd been in America for over 30 years. And he's tired of being a janitor. He want better. But he can't pass a specific test to get him into that janitor role. he said this particular test would make him earn $85,000 a year. So I'm thinking, what janitor test will make you have the potential to earn $85,000 a year? Just to be ignorant, I'm saying, don't janitors just mop and sweep, take the garbage out, and have a whole bunch of keys to open up different doors and rooms and be a cleaner man? But as he kept talking, it's like a electrical hybrid type of janitorial job. You know, it's like I guess new age hybrid job. In the day he's a cleaner. Midday I guess he do press some electrical circuits in a room, and you know, whatever the case may be. But anyway, it's $85,000 a year, but he can't pass that test. First thing he said, I had to send money back to my country is the reason why I don't have it. I can't relax my mind. I can't study. I can't get to it. I have to send money back home. He said he should have never did that. He should have never listened. He should have been more selfish. But he wanted to be the one to think he's going to save the world when he came to America. These people are, in today's society, people are so frustrated. Whatever secrets they have inside, whatever thoughts they have inside, they just talk out loud now to get it out. They just talk out loud to get it out. And me happen to be there, I'm listening. And all I can say to myself is, hey, you was raised that way. You put yourself out there. You manipulated the situation, have people to rely on you. And now when it gets too much for you, you want to cuss them. You want to regret them. Just be honest in life. Say, hey, you don't know what's going to happen to you once you go to America. You don't know what's going to be your opportunities. You don't know how far you're going to go. Wishful thinking is one thing, and to complete something is another. Thank you for tuning in, man. Random Wednesdays, random topics, random things. I'm going to try to do this every Wednesday. Enjoy.